What is up, Taurus? How are you guys doing? It is time for your June 2025 main monthly reading. June 2025, man. I try not to talk about it so much, but god damn it, it scares me how fast it flies by, dude. I know I beat that drum to death, so I'm gonna shut up about that, but dude, it for real freaks me out. Anyway, June 2025 for Taurus. So, for those of you who are in need of a personal reading, the information is in the description of the video. And for those of you who have followed for a while, we've made a couple of changes to the website. We've added a couple more reading options, okay? So, it's no longer 24-hour readings only. We've added a 72-hour and a 48-hour option as well. Also, don't forget, y'all, my course for the month of May is my course on how to read the tarot. Since this is technically being recorded in the month of May, I'm still going to be announcing that in the June readings. So my goal with my course on how to read the tarot is to help those of you who want to learn how to read develop your own personal style of reading and simplify it so that you're not so intimidated by it. It's a two-part course, okay? There's a lot that goes into it, but at the end of the day, you'll back away from it confident to be able to develop your own personal style without pulling your hair out and being intimidated by it, you know? So the link for that is in the description, and June 1st, it goes bye-bye. All right, let's jump into this. I want to start this off with the person you dealt with in the past. Let's see if anything's happening in June. Anything happening in June between Taurus and the person they dealt with in the past? If you're not inquiring about somebody you dealt with in the past, sit tight. I'll get to you in a second. Taurus and the person from the past. Let's see. Boom. Ace of Wands. All right. Boom. Queen of Wands reverse. Page of Swords. So I'm thinking there's going to be a conversation between the two of you. Yep. We got the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So I'm seeing communication. I am seeing communication. Now, there's some missing puzzle pieces in here. There's some missing puzzle pieces. I'm going to have to dig into this a little bit deeper because I'm seeing communication and I'm seeing a love offer being made. However, I'm not really seeing a new start happening. For some reason, it looks like you're still moving on from this. I don't know what is the dealio. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe you're just coming to the conclusion that this wouldn't work like you hoped or like you thought it would. I don't know. That's interesting. Some of you dealt with a Virgo. Could be a fellow Taurus for some of you. I also have Cancer down here. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right. Well, let me see how this person feels about you then. How's the past person feel about Taurus, universe? How do they see you? How do they feel about you? What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they in general? Boop, boop, be-doo, hoo, boo-doo, boom. 8 of Wands reversed. Well, this person is a horrible communicator. Hang on. And Ace of Swords reversed. Horrible communicator. Horrible. Page of Cups reversed. See, this person I think is a little bit intimidated by you. A little bit intimidated by you. They don't feel the strongest connection in the world. I just don't think they really know how to express their feelings, is what it is, So, it's the good old classic act cold and detached. Pretend I don't have feelings. You knowing damn good and well they do. And maybe that's all it takes. I don't know how long you've been apart from this person, but maybe you've spent just enough time apart from this person to be able to gather your thoughts, gather your feelings, and see things more clearly. And then once you're able to revisit the past and you get a good look at them and you're like, it just would never work. If you can't open up and be genuine, upfront, honest, authentic, and vulnerable, it ain't gonna fucking work. So, yeah. Some of you have been on and off with this person. I know that's not all of you, but we got the karmic wheel reverse there. Yeah, this person got feelings for you. They just don't know how to express it. Okay, well, I guess let's just jump straight into the advice then. Let's jump straight into the advice then. Page of Cups. Ten of Swords, Lover's card reversed again. Okay. Seven of Swords. Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say. I'm not going to say what you should or shouldn't do. But I will say this. This person doesn't have the emotional maturity to be the person you need them to be. They're just not mature enough for that. Okay? I'm not saying that they are or they're not a bad person. I'm not even going there. Not even going there. Let's pretend that this person has the most benevolent intentions in the world. Let's just pretend that for a second. They have good intentions. They want to rebuild. They want to do better. At the end of the day, no matter what their intentions are, they're not mature enough to develop and sustain and grow and cultivate an emotional connection at the deepest level with anyone. Anyone. So, just know that going into it. Take that information and do with it what you will. All right. Now let's see who's coming in next for the singles. Who's the next person coming in for the single Tauruses? What's coming in next for the singles? Ace of Cups reversed. Four of Cups reversed. Star card. Oh, I see. Okay. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to dig into this a little bit deeper too, because I'm getting a really strong sense here of you wanting to make 100% sure that this isn't too good to be true. Now, I gotta be careful how I word that, because it's one thing to intuitively feel that something is off and throw your guard up. It's another thing to just for the sake of not wanting to repeat a past mistake, keeping somebody at an arm's distance in observing the situation, even if everything feels right, even if you don't feel anything off, but you still like, I'm not jumping in head first and nothing willy-nilly right now. I don't care what it feels like. Keeping you at an arm's distance and I'm watching. Just because the last time and the time before that, the time before that, and the time before that, I jumped in head first willy-nilly and got the rug pulled, So I'm thinking that it could lead to long-term commitment, though. I think so. Could be an Aries for some of you. Also have Leo, Aquarius. Got Cancer down here. All right, well, let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions. Next person coming in for the single Tauruses. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Ooh, 6 of Cups. They feel like they've known you their whole life. They feel a real strong connection with you. Real strong. So they may have a lot of other shit going on in their personal life, like money problems and whatnot. They may be a little bit, what's the word? A little bit embarrassed about their money situation. I'm thinking they want commitment, though. They do want long-term commitment. They're a little bit, they got some problems in life, and I think they're a little bit embarrassed by it. So if anything, if it kind of feels like they're holding things back a little bit, maybe they're just kind of ashamed to let you know what their financial situation is. They got some trust issues too. They've been cheated on in the past. So y'all are kind of honestly mirroring each other as far as that goes. And hopefully it doesn't stay that way for too long. There's nothing wrong with that in the very beginning, but if that cycle doesn't get broken soon, then it could cause problems later on down the line. But let's see how it plays out for the first 60 days. When the next person comes in. How's it playing out for the first 60 days? How's it playing out for the first 60 days? When the next person comes in. 9 of Cups. Oh, shit. Damn, dog. Well, that was unexpected. It's telling me that I don't know why, but this is going to come to a sudden, abrupt, and unexpected ending. Not even telling me why. I have no idea why. Sudden, abrupt, and unexpected ending. The fuck? Well, and it could, I don't think this is the end all be all, but like I said, for some of you, I think this person may have some financial issues they're a little bit ashamed of. So there could be some things that they're withholding from you, not to be malicious or not to mislead you, but just out of embarrassment, And that will only go so far. When two people first come together, it's normal to want to put your best foot forward and put your worst foot all the way back there. But after a certain point, once we've been together for so long and we've been talking for so long, that guard's going to have to come down and we're going to have to let each other in on who we really are, or I'm going to have to start lying to you, right? Okay, let's get the advice here. What's the advice for Taurus? Don't jump in head first with the Fool card reverse. 3 of Wands reverse. Sun card, Death card. Well, I tell you what, there's a 7 of Swords again. We already talked about that. Here's what I would focus on if I was you. Focus on a friendship. Okay, I'm not saying ignore the emotional aspect of the connection, but make sure you can form a good, tight, solid friendship with this person. And let this person know somehow, some way that they are totally free to open up and be their true, authentic self without being judged or looked at funny. You know? Because that little frivolous bullshit, we can work on that along the way. You know? So many people out there in today's day and age put so much stock into like money and shit like that. And I'm not saying that's not important. What I'm saying is, rather than, and I'm just throwing this out there generally, rather than worrying about how much money somebody makes right now, worry about whether or not they are goal-oriented and whether or not there's potential for us to build an empire together. Because if you got money problems right now, okay, whatever, we can fix that. We can fix that together. Are you goal-oriented? Are you driven? Do you have ambitions? Do you have vision? Are you willing to try new things? That's what I'm worried about. Because I don't care if you don't make no fucking money, but I do care if you're too fucking lazy to work with me to build an empire together. You know? So, yeah. Hopefully this doesn't have to come to an end, because I don't think that's necessary. I don't think so. But if there's not genuine transparency in the first 2 or 3 months, it could take an unexpected turn for the worst. Okay, well, let's see what's going on with the singles and the person that you're interested in June. Anything happening in June? Single Tauruses and the person that you're interested in. Justice reversed. 4 of Wands. King of Cups. Ooh, 3 of Swords. King of Wands. Page. Oh, shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. This was starting off to look really good here. This was about to start looking real good here. I was about to say, man, we got Page of Cups, King of Cups, 4 of Wands. I was about to say, shit, a love offer's being made, and this is going to be a relationship. But then, all of a sudden, Devil card, 5 of Wands, Tower. But you know what this feels like? It almost feels like somebody's going to try to sabotage this. That's what that feels like. I hate to get too specific, but if you came to me for a personal reading and this energy came through, what I would likely say is that it feels like somebody has a jealous, salty ex that's going to try to sabotage shit, you know? So that's what this looks like. It looks like, you know, I would say that a love offer is going to be made, but somebody's trying to sabotage this. Okay, let me see how this person feels about you. How does this person feel about Taurus? What's their energy look like? What are their intentions? What kind of person are they in general? Nine of Wands reverse, Strength card. Okay. They don't really know. They don't really know who they want to be with. They don't really know. They got trust issues. They've been burned very badly in the past. Some days they think they want to settle down and get fucking married. Other days they just want to be single. They don't really know. They don't really know. Three of Swords, yeah, they don't really know. And also, too, I think that they highly suspect that this ex will probably try to sabotage things. I don't think that idea would come as a shock to this person. So, yeah. And they're just afraid of having to go through the fucking bullshit all over again. So, All right, well, advice. Let's get the advice. Let's get the advice. Page of Wands reversed. Okay. Ace of Wands, Devil reverse. Look, check this out. So, first of all, just stand tall and strong in your integrity. And check this out. If you're not feeding energy to a fucking toxic person, and this is somebody the universe wants in your life, nobody will be able to sabotage it. Now, there's exceptions to everything, okay? So I'm not talking about the rare exceptions, but very generally fucking speaking, nobody can actually sabotage you. Nobody can sabotage you. Again, there's little exceptions to everything, okay? You know, but 9 times out of 10, nobody can actually sabotage you. What they do is they trigger you to sabotage yourself. That's the way it really works. Real talk. So you have to understand, you got to be real careful who you choose to exchange energy with. You know, and if you do choose to exchange energy with somebody, you got to be really cautious and pay attention to the energy. Okay. You know the old saying that what goes around comes around. We've all heard that. Okay. Well, let me break that down and explain to you how this works. Okay. What goes around comes around doesn't mean that there's this little superhero named Captain Karma who goes around kicking people's asses for doing bad things. It's not the way it fucking works. If that's how it worked, we wouldn't have so many people bitching and complaining because good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people. Okay? There is no little Captain Karma. Okay? It's not a punishment. Okay? There's no judgment behind it. Not from a universal perspective. No, there's not. There's no judgments, there's no punishments, and there's no rewards. What it means is the vibrations that you cast are sent back to you. Period. It's a default setting in this simulation that we're in, or simulator. It's more like a simulator, but that's a different topic for a different time. It's a default setting in this simulation that we're in. The vibrations that you cast are handed back to you. So guess what? Let's say somebody throws some shit at you. Well, they just casted some shitty vibrations. You know what most people do when somebody throws shit at them? They catch it and they throw it back. Right? Isn't that what most people do? They catch it and they throw it back. Well, so that person just threw some shit. So some shit's about to come back and hit them. But they're probably used to that. But guess what? Now you caught it and you threw it back. So now it's going to come back and hit you too. But they don't give a fuck. People who go around doing shit like this, their life is already in shambles. So they're used to it. They're used to it. It ain't nothing new to them. But if somebody throws some shit your way, duck. Just duck. And it'll go right over your head. Go out to the universe. Come back. Bam. And hit them. It won't touch you. It won't touch you. It'll only touch you if you grab it and throw it back. It's the way it works, man. It's the way it works. You have to understand that, especially on a spiritual path. Especially if you're on a spiritual path. You know, you'll get attacked twice as much when you're on the spiritual path. Oh, yeah, you will. Oh, fuck yeah, you will, dude. Oh, yeah, you will. It don't get easier. You have to get better and you have to get stronger. Okay? So, it's tough. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard. But just know that if you're really dealing with somebody that the universe wants in your life, nobody outside of you can sabotage that. But you can. Okay? So just take that information and do with it what you will. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Taurus family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget the information for personal readings is in the description. And for those of you who missed the beginning of the video, we made a couple of little alterations to the website. Now it's no longer 24-hour readings only. We've added two new options. We've added a 48-hour option and a 72-hour option, okay? Just to throw some more affordable things on there for those of you who have been asking about that. So also don't forget my course for the month of May is my course on how to read the tarot. Technically, this is being recorded in the month of May, so remember, my goal for the course on how to read the tarot is not to teach you how to follow all these rules by the book. To the contrary, it's to help you develop the confidence to come up with your own unique style of reading the tarot and simplify it. It's way simpler than you think, okay? Way simpler than you think. But it is a two-part course. The first part is 90% my interpretation of the cards. 90%. And there's one video for each tarot card in that first part. The second part of the course, though, is where I dive into the intuitive guide. How to develop your intuition, develop a relationship with a tarot deck, develop a relationship with yourself and the universe. So the link for that is in the description. Like I said, June 1st, that course goes bye-bye. All right? All right, y'all, I'm out of here now. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.